You can run, but you can't hide. Can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. Can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide.
Welcome, Truth Nation. All right, this is the moment where I actually step back from my opinion and I give you guys the full truth. Okay, we call this Tonya Tells the Truth. And this is where emotions meet honesty and honesty meets accountability. So let's just get right into it. Okay, guys? So let's talk about something that made headlines this week and probably got a lot of you just to stop. You know what I'm saying? And it was during an interview with Cam Newton, and he was asked um basically, did he have any women friends where he had a platonic relationship with. And his response was no, absolutely not. That he could not be in a friendship with a beautiful woman unless he was hitting it. Now that is freaking crazy. So what that tells me about Cam Newton is that he lacks self-control and that his penis has all the control. And that's pretty damn sad. That's real sad, okay? And we have to ask ourselves as Black women. And I'm just going to say, and I'm going to leave myself out of it because I'm married, but just g- generally speaking, as a Black woman, I'm going to say, a lot of you, you want to be married and you want to meet a good man. You want someone that's going to treat you well, that makes good money. But at the end of the day, are you worried about a man that lacks character, um, self-control? Are those things important to you, or is it not? So here it is. Um, I'm wondering if he can't control himself when it comes to being around beautiful women. How are you going to teach your children about self-control? You know, how are you going to just function day to day? And I guess that's why he has a lot of baby mamas. And a lot of you women, you fall for that. And something else he said in the interview was that the women that hang around him, they're not attractive. Now, if I was his friend and he was saying that I'm not attractive, I'll be looking at him with a side eye. Like, like you ain't all that either, dude. Like, let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. Okay. And it's like Cam has a little boy's mindset. Yeah. Little boy's syndrome. That's what we're going to call it. Little boy's syndrome. I'm not even going to say little man syndrome. I'm going to call him a boy because that's what you're acting like. Okay. And at times we see men that are powerful. a- And I'm going to say, no, let me rephrase this whole thing. First, let me start with this. Cam Newton, I believe he is actually doing all of this because he have access, he has the money, he has the power. And he uses that to do what he does, manipulate women. And the women who are dating him, you're allowing that. And I'm not saying that he's a bad guy. I'm not saying none of that. But what I am saying is, you women out there, you settle. You settle for less. You say you want more, but then you do the opposite. And you also think that you can change this man. And ladies, something else that's very important, I feel like you should know that a lot of men want to know what you're bringing to the table as well. Okay? Because if you are just bringing your beauty, your outer beauty, that's not enough. Okay? That is not enough to bring to the table. And I feel like a lot of women, and I'm saying white women too, because if we're looking at the Beverly Hills housewives, okay, we see PK and his wife going through a divorce. Kyle, I believe if he wanted to come back to Kyle, she would take him. And I don't know why, because for many years, Kyle and him played this role like they had the perfect marriage. And nobody's marriage is perfect, by the way. If they tell you so, they're lying. Okay? No one marriage is perfect. Everybody argues, everybody has disagreements, but at the end of the day, you still can respect one another, okay? And love one another. Um and it's a work in progress, and you have to know how to give and take, okay? And if my mother-in-law used to say to me, if the good outweighs the bad, then you stick around. Okay? But if the bad outweighs the good, it's time to go. And I'm a firm believer of that. But I say that to say, when you don't bring something to the table, that's when a lot of these men with money run all over you. Okay? And you don't have access, because I don't even believe they give a lot of these women access to their bank accounts. Okay? And you're bringing nothing to the table but a pretty face, a nice looking body, in sex. He can get sex from any damn body. And that's what they do. Why? Because you ain't bringing nothing else to the table. And that was Evelyn's problem. And that's probably what she's taught her daughter. And I'm sorry, but the game ain't nobody to be bragging about having a damn baby for at the end of the day. Okay? I'm just saying. You can miss me with all of that. And I don't have nothing against the game. I don't want no smoke from the game. Okay? But the game ain't all that, on paper or off paper. Okay? And that just brings me to a whole nother conversation with Evelyn and her daughter, Shawnice, where they thought they were really doing something, bringing the game on their podcast. And to me, he embarrassed the hell out of her. I was sitting there like, my inside was like this, because I'm like, oh my God, I felt so bad for this young lady, because this man told you what time it was. Okay. And She thought because she was beautiful, that she was light skinned, that she had good hair, okay, that she was young. She was going to change this man, okay? He may support her. I believe he probably supports the child financially, but there is no um attachment physically. I heard him say during that podcast that he's actually taken the baby for a walk to the park, and that's it. That's it. He doesn't change diapers. He doesn't feed the baby. And he doesn't, he's not hands on. And he even told her, I guess he made her feel some type of way when she came to him to say that she was pregnant. And I'm looking at Evelyn, which does she doesn't surprise me because everybody know what time it is with Evelyn. Okay, Evelyn is about the money, the money, and the money. Okay? She don't give a fuck about integrity. She thinks that her poo-tang is everything. Okay? But yet, and I'm not even gonna count Chad as a husband. Okay, because that lasted for how many days? So we already know what that was about, okay? And it didn't last. And she ruined his career at the end of the day. She ruined Chad's career. And I'm glad to see him doing well today. But Evelyn to me has not given her daughter the tools, you know what I'm saying? To be successful. I don't believe I, I don't know. I think she's a yoga instructor. And hold on, before you yoga instructor um jump down my throat, there's nothing wrong with being a yoga instructor, okay? But all I'm saying is all the access that Evelyn had in the industry, I would think that for me, pushing education, um, like with Candy daughter, even though she's on reality TV right now, she's in law school, you know, and Shawnice is out here trying to bag the game. And what really, really throws me off is that this young lady didn't even know that he was a convicted felon. And I don't know how the hell Evelyn gets on TV to talk about Jennifer, her husband, when your daughter just had a baby for a felon. Okay? If that's not the pot calling the kettle black, I don't know what it is. Okay? But I feel like a lot of these women, I can't feel sorry for these women because you want to use your beauty and you think you're all that and you think you're going to change this man and you're not looking at what this man brings to the table, which is absolutely nothing but a dick. Okay? You guys need to start looking for men that have integrity, men that have a purpose, men that will respect you and honor you. Okay? Men that will love you. Okay? Men that don't have lack of discipline. Okay? And eh, and they're God-fearing because money does not buy you love. Money can't make someone love you, respect you, um, or treat you well. And yeah, you may live a good life with material things all around you, but at the end of the day, that's not what you're really wanting, is it? You want security, but at the end of the day, you want someone that's going to respect you and that you can grow together and be as one together, like-minded. That's important. Getting with someone that's like-minded. Okay? Now, if you're a woman that's And I'm sure there are women out there like Cam Newton, um, and The Game, okay, who got just as much game as they have. And those are the type of women they need to actually get with at the end of the day. But all of you women who are wanting to get married, who want this loving relationship and all that, stop choosing the wrong men, okay? And start looking for men that are intentional, okay? That's all I got for you guys today. So be blessed. Love you.